Hello and welcome to another edition of Guide to Youth with your host, Reha. I'm Reha Zaqen, and I will be talking to you today about somewhat of a trivial topic, but I think it's on the mind of teenagers from time to time because it impacts their daily life, their purchasing decisions, and essentially it helps form who they are in later life. And what I'd like to talk to you about today are two things: the top 10 most famous people of all time, and the second item, how do we decide why these people are so famous? Surprisingly, a lot of them are Hollywood stars, which gives me pause. It makes me stop and think, really? Are you kidding me? Why would I define myself by a Hollywood personality? Because they're all fake. They're essentially virtual characters, and we really don't know that much about them as people. Their entire existence is a facade. The other, group of people that makes the list are, of course, scientists, and there we can have great arguments about who was greater, Newton, Aristotle, or Einstein, and I know which one is my favorite. And then, of course, you have religious people, of whom Jesus of Nazareth is obviously the most famous, with everybody coming in as distant seconds. Not to forget about political and government heroes such as Adolf Hitler, Alexander the Great, and all those folks have influenced our existence in some way. And then you have the group that is led by Leonardo Da Vinci, which has no equal, and the group led by William Shakespeare, which of course has no equal. If I had to pick my favorite top scientist, which I don't think anybody can touch, is Newton. He, died a virgin, and in the process of spending time on this earth, decided, hey, not only do I want to solve problems independent of arithmetic, but I would like to create an entire new system of mathematics that is going to define in abstract, dynamic ways how we measure the world that we live in. So as far as I'm concerned, Newton would, in my opinion, have to take the number one spot as the most influential scientist, with Aristotle being a close second. Aristotle lived over 2,000 years ago. He was wrong about many things, but his attempt at science had more influence on physics and on mathematics than anyone else's. I'm speaking to the 13 to 21 group, and you are feel free to call and interject with your opinion, because this show is for you. Guide to Youth is meant to help you get through this formative time of your life, 13 to 21, in very constructive and positive and encouraging ways. Not everybody has an idyllic life in middle-class suburbia where they don't have any real problems, any real worries, any real issues to deal with. And I just want to let all of them know that they are not alone. There are other people out there that are going through the same thing, struggling with the same type of issues, and we can explore these issues as deeply as you would like. There is nothing too superficial, there is nothing too extravagant, there is nothing too esoteric for us to look at and talk about on this show. So now, drum roll, this is my top 10 most famous people list of all time, and of course you do not have to agree, but it is my opinion. The number one most famous person in the world that everyone has heard of, like it or not, is Jesus of Nazareth. I think the second most famous person in the world has to be Marlyn Manroe. Anywhere in the world you go, she's more famous than the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Gypsy Kings. And that brings me to who I believe is the greatest entertainer of all time, and that would be the Gypsy Kings. So then we still have Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, thank you to William Shakespeare, who also made the list, Adolf Hitler, Genghis Khan, Leonardo Da Vinci, and Muhammad Gandhi. Not even on the list is, of course, Newton, which I think he transcends so many disciplines, and though maybe not everybody knows who he is still, in my opinion, the most famous scientist of all time, and deserves to have that status. Thank you very much for listening. Please join me next time. Be good, and hope to hear from you soon.